What's up guys, today we're finally going to install my new diverter valve for my Max.6 GTI. If you guys have been following along, you guys would know that my diverter valve on my Max.6 has been whistling just a little bit. It's been making some weird noises, I guess, just because I took off my ECS tuning diverter valve spacer. So today we're finally going to install my new GFB diverter valve. This one has been recommended by all you guys. I asked on my Instagram and TikTok which one I should get. This is part one for the maintenance series that I'm going to be doing for this car. So today we're just going to be installing this, and then the next thing we'll see what's next. So I already pulled the car up in the driveway. We have our jack here ready to be put under the car, and I want to talk a little bit more about this part that I got for the car. This is the GFB, or Go Fast Bits diverter valve. I believe it is part number T9351, if you guys were wondering. In my Instagram and TikTok, you guys have recommended this one just because it can handle more boost. It's like an aftermarket one, and it performed way better than the OEM one. So if you guys didn't know, for the Max.6 GTI, there's a diverter valve on the turbo basically, and it's up under here, kind of under your fender, a little bit under the wheel well. So that's where we're going to be installing the new diverter valve for it. It's basically just like a piece that goes onto the OEM one. But first you have to take off the wheel and then preferably take off the fender liner. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And then we're also going to jack up the car just so that we have more space to get under there and look at everything. So now we're going to go ahead and jack up the car. We already cracked these lug bolts off. And so now we're going to jack up the car and then take off all the fender liner to really see what we're working with down there. So I just got the car jacked up, and the last time I took my ECS tuning diverter valve spacer off, so this is what the part looks like. It's a spacer that goes in between the turbo and the diverter valve. You can see it's a little bit caked with oil. That's because these things typically leak oil every time you let off on the gas or the throttle. So that's why I took mine off and just plugged in my diverter valve back into normal. But now that I'm doing that, it still has a whistle and stuff like that. So I'm thinking there's either another leak or it's just bad. So that's why I have that new GFB one. As you guys can see now, we got the wheel off of the car. So now we're gonna go ahead and get under the fender liner and start taking off all that stuff. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and take off all your fender liner, or most of it, just maybe this one up here and maybe this one, just peel it back a little bit. You're gonna go ahead and take a T25 and get all these kind of little screws right here, and then you should be good to go and get to the diverter valve. So you actually don't need to take the fender liner off. You can see the diverter valve just well enough as long as the car is raised up high enough. The diverter valve is right here, and you got to unplug that sensor, and then it's held on by 3 bolts. Mine are aftermarket ones, unfortunately, because I don't know where my stock ones are, but there's one over here, one next to it, and then one kind of behind it. So once you do those 3, then you can start taking it off and start doing the next step. So we finally got the diverter valve out, and as you can see, this thing is absolutely caked in oil, even the connector where it was. So now that we got it out, we can go ahead and assemble our new GFB one, and we'll go ahead and do that and put it back in. So now we got the GFB one all inserted and all put together. So basically, you take out all the old stuff. There's a spring and there's a little solenoid thing, and then also a cap kind of thing that you all take out. You don't need those anymore. Then you just replace it with the ones that GFB gave you. So you put it all together, and then you have this little piston thingy right here, or whatever you want to call it, and it should look like this. And it also comes with 3 new ones to screw in rather than the old ones. So now we have the new diverter valve all back up and in there. We're going to go ahead and put back the fender liner all around, put everything just back the way it was, and we'll turn on the car and we'll see how it sounds and make sure everything's running properly. Okay, so we put all the fender liner back in. As you can see, we just turned on the car just to let it warm up and so I can hear if it makes any noise when it rev it. So we're gonna go ahead and rev it while it's on the jack stand and stuff like that. I highly recommend not doing that, but we're gonna do it just for test purposes only. Got everything back together. As you can hear, there was no whistle, so everything should be good. We're gonna go ahead and throw the wheel and tire back on, lower it down, and then go drive it around the block and just test to make sure everything's fitted right and everything's running good. And so as you guys saw, there was no whistling done to the car. There's no whistling in the diverter valve, so everything should be fine. We are gonna go take it for a spin real quick just to make sure everything's running well and everything's put together the right way, and we'll give you my thoughts and everything on it and if anything goes wrong. too. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but overall I actually don't mind it. It sounds pretty good. There is still some flutter. If you guys remember my old setup with the ECS tuning diverter valve spacer, it had more of a, you know, a louder flutter, a bigger exaggeration to it. So this is definitely a little bit quieter and things like that, but there still is a lot of noise that you can get and still a lot of fun to enjoy. Okay, so we just got back from driving around the block. If you guys heard, it sounded pretty good. I actually really liked it. It still was quieter than the setup I had before and everything, but it's still, you know, loud enough to enjoy it and have fun with it, and it makes all the right noises. Overall, I didn't hear anything wrong with the whistling or anything with the diverter valve. It sounded all like how it should have been from stock or from factory or basically anything like that. It made the whooshes noises, it made the flutter noises. There was no whistle or anything like that. Driving the car, you can definitely feel the difference in like the power band. It feels a lot more linear and more gradual. And boost definitely does come on maybe just a little bit quicker, just because there's no leak or anything like that. But overall, the car does feel like it's pulling harder than it did before, you know, because it doesn't have that boost leak anymore. And also, it also does feel like it's pulling harder even though we're in the hot weather. This past week has been really hot here in California. So definitely in the cold weather, I'll probably be able to notice it more and stuff like that. But for now, I think it's been working perfectly fine. Of course, later in the week when I'm driving it more and just casual driving, things like that, I'll keep you guys updated on it. Overall, I'm really happy with the results. It definitely exceeded my expectations of it. You guys really recommended this one for me, and that I should just go with this one rather than, you know, just putting my old stock one back on or having the spacer on it or the other one I recommended. But it works perfectly fine. Like I said, the power band is really linear. It pulls all the way to redline. And most importantly, the main thing that I had a problem with this thing was the oil being sprayed all over the engine bay. So that's definitely not a problem anymore. You can't hear it like that anymore. You don't kind of smell it or see it. So that's definitely a big plus for this. And like I said before, this is part 1 for the maintenance series of my Mark 6 GTI. If you guys want to stay tuned for part 2, make sure to subscribe. The next things I got to do for the maintenance series is the PCV valve and the cam plate seal. I don't know which one I'm going to do next, just because I need to figure out if I get the parts not or such. But those two are in this maintenance series, so one of those videos will come out again once I fix that and do all that work. If you guys enjoyed today's video and you guys want to keep up on everything I do to my Mark 6, make sure to subscribe down below, leave a comment, and let me know what else other content you guys want to see. Right now I'm focusing on getting this thing back to how it was when I first got it, really reliable, and just maintaining it. With that being said, make sure to go subscribe down to my YouTube, and I'll see you guys next time.